Hello everyone, welcome to More Stuff Coin Collection channel. My name is MCC. Welcome. I really miss you guys. As I told you, I want to keep my promise to record this at least once a week. So I'm here again. Yay. As you can see, before I start my topic today, as you can see this box, this is from Royal Mint. Before I start this one, I want to talk about a spot price. Did you read the news? Or not news? If you check website or yesterday or this morning, you notice, probably you didn't, but I can tell you, spot price of gold reached already above 30,000 Australian dollars for a while yesterday. Now today it's a little bit below 3,000 Australian dollars, which still the highest recently. Whereas spot price for silver is also increased a lot, and it was at a low point at 30.8 AUD on 9th March to 25.5 AUD today. So in other words, in about 2 weeks time, it has increased for more than 15%. To be honest, I just regret I haven't purchased the silver bullion as investment. Now I believe those who did not invest like me would expect it to be back to $30 again, so they can have a chance to buy some more. But for those who already bought a lot, I hope the price will keep going, keep increasing like this. It's pretty much like a stock market, and you never know when it started dropping again. At this particular moment on Persemin website, starting from yesterday, there's no price tag for all bullion coins, which is a little bit rare for me. What I'm thinking is they are considering the big price adjustment during the weekend. Just let's wait and see. As I mentioned before, I'm not investor, so I cannot make any further comments on it. I pointed out, as I think it may impact the price of a collection coin in the near future. I would consider at the moment any one Aussie proof silver coin at about 150 AUD is reasonable at the moment. Of course, some other coins from overseas, like UK coins, might be a little bit more expensive, but if it's around $170, I also can accept that. But anything larger than that, I found it's too much expensive for me. Okay, since we are here talking about the Royal Mint coin, this coin is about memorial coin for later Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I just wanted to briefly talk about her, especially her portrait design in the past. First, as a coin collector, investor, anyone know about coins, you probably know Queen Elizabeth II. Unfortunately, she passed away last year. To be exact, it was on 8th September 2022 when she was 96 years old. She has been the Queen of United Kingdom and other Commonwealth realm for more than 70 years, since 1952. So that means she became queen when she was pretty young. She was 25 years old. At that age, most of the people are just found a job, or just they're still starting these days. But think about it, she became a monarch by that time. So as a coin collector, investor, you probably saw her portrait on obverse side, which is also, head side of the coin, for your whole life. Regarding her coin effigy portraits, actually there are totally 6 designs, but in Australia they say there are totally 6 designs, but in UK they say 5 designs. So there's a dispute, but let's find out what's happening. Her first design was made by Mary Gillick, starting from 1953, quite a while ago, and it was 1953 up to 1965. The first portrait had been on coin for about 12 years. Second one was designed by Arnold Matching. It was between 1966 to 84, roughly about 19 years on the coin. It was also the first Australian decimal coinage. That means starting from year 1966, we have the Australia on the coin. Before that was something else I will talk about later in this video. Third design was made by Raphael Makloff within 1985 to 98, about 14 years on the coin. First design, you will see that very much frequently on nowadays coins. It's was designed by Ian Rank Broadley, IRB as the initial. The thing I'm not quite understand is it was supposed to design for fourth design supposed to be on a coin between 1999 to 2019. However, after that it was Jody Clark, but I found the IRB initial also on majority of my 2022 coin collections. If you guys know what's happening, let me know. I'm just still confused these days. The fifth design was made by Vladimir Godwald. Was only appears on the coin for 1 year in 2000, which was approved by Queen for once use only. That one was seems like not recognized by UK Royal Mint, because they definitely mentioned 5 designs instead of 6 designs. So this is not their fifth. This is not their fifth design. So for Australia, there are 6 designs. Jody Clark, starting from year 2019 up to this year, will be the final year using the design on a coin, which is about 5 years with the initial JC. It is called a fifth design in UK, but anyway, if you are interested in those particular portrait design, you can just search heads on tail on RAM or Royal Mint. Pretty sure you will find more detailed information. Okay, let's waste no more time and start talking about the topic today, about the memorial coin, which I bought recently. This time, it has a new portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. So the difference I'm expecting to see is this coin. What's different to the previous portrait is because this time her portrait is on the reverse side, which is the tail side instead of head side. Why? And it's quite obvious reason, because we have the first King Charles III portrait. The first King Charles III, his portrait as the effigy on the obverse side for the first time. So it's quite an exciting moment. It was at least it is new in Australia. I know someone already become aware of that. The coin become available in UK and initially released on the 3rd October last year, which about 6 months ago. However, UK Royal Mint just made it available for about 3 months until the end of 2022. So if you are the big fan of the Royal Mint or the Memorial Coin, you probably already placed the order last year and it become one of the collection. But for me, this is the first time I saw this on the Australia Mint website, like the Perth Mint, which I saw it on the first time on 16th March, which is more than 1 week ago. So I decided to buy one. So the price on it was $170. Pretty sure today is still the same price and still available on the website. But considering the exchange rate between pound sterling and AUD, I think the price is good, because at the moment, if you check, if you Google it, £1 sterling equals to 1.84 AUD, which means for this coin, $107 I spent, it's roughly about 93 pound sterling. Whereas on the Royal Mint side, 6 months ago, the price was 99.5. So which means it's 7 pound sterling cheaper, which is a good deal. For the memorial coin for Queen Elizabeth III 3 designs, I will show you more details in the following video. So you have an idea about 3 different designs. This is just their first memorial design. So this is the first memorial design. I have it physically on my hand. Okay. Let's take a look at this coin right now. I know you have been waiting for so long, and I've been talking a little bit too much so far, but eventually I decided to have it open. But before that, you can see on the coin, on the box itself, it's a Royal Mint original maker. The bottom, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. It was made in 2022 UK, 1 Aussie silver proof coin. So as I mentioned, it was released in UK 6 months ago. That's why I said 2022. Okay, on top of it, pretty much same thing. Here, and just say Queen Elizabeth II was born in 1926 and passed away on 2022. On the other side, same thing. Okay, let's and on the back of this, lifetime of hearted devotion, and you can have a quick read like this. Okay, let's open the box. Finally. In this side, oh wow, the box looks fantastic. Looks great. All right. On top of it is what is it called? Certificate of authenticity. Royal Mint, the original maker. Back of it, Royal Mint from the United Kingdom. Here we go. We have all these specifications. Denomination. This is the £2 sterling coin. Issuing authority, United Kingdom. Material, obviously the AG means silver. Purity is 99.9%. Weight 31.2 grams. I think Australia coins is about one Aussie coin is about 32 gram in my memory. Yeah. Okay, I don't know why it's slightly different, but probably it's because the diameter is different. It's 38.6 millimeter. The obverse designer is Martin Jennings, which is the designer for King Charles III. Reverse designers John Burgo and Royal Mint. Quantity of the proof. Okay, so this is on this side is kind of like a standard assurance, say the quantity is guaranteed and it is approved quantity from the Royal Mint. Okay, let's put it back. Take out a coin. Take a closer look. See how beautiful it is. It's wonderful. Looks great. Let's start because since this is the reverse side. Now, because it always confused me because Queen has been on the obverse side most of the time, majority of the time. So I have to think about that when I talk about this. Okay, so this is the reverse side. Since they're on this side, we talk about this side first. Okay, so as I mentioned, this is the first memorial design for Queen Elizabeth II. On the coin, it just shows her name, Elizabeth. Regina is kind of like a Latin language. That means queen, so that means Queen Elizabeth. This year is the year she was born, and 2022 was the year she passed away. So if you take if you take a closer look, you will see JB right here. Let me hold this coin like this. If you can see, if you see this one here, tiny thing here, JB. Yes, now you can see that. So JB is the initial of this portrait designer, John Burgo. Okay, so it's wonderful design. Let's take another closer look. Seems to be very great. Shining, proof quantity. Hold it like that. I don't want to hold it like that forever. Really miss her. Let's go to the other side. Guess who will be on the other side? Obviously, will be King Charles III. Ta-da! Okay. This looks wonderful. And this portrait looks fantastic. And you can see there's MJ and to the bottom, right, I point out right here, MJ. So it's initial of the designer Martin Jennings, who is a British sculptor. On the coin itself is King Charles III himself, the portrait. Around his head say Charles III, D, G. So it's quite common on the UK coins. So DG is also in Latin. So that means the whole word is called Dia Gratia. Translated in English, it means by the grace of God. Rex means king. like Regina is a queen. And for the last two letters, FD, it's FID Defensor. This is the Defensor is the male version of a defender in Latin. The female version is a Defensatrix. So also on Queen's coin in UK is also FD. So, but her coin would be DG REG FD. Okay, now you understand what this means. Probably most of you already know, but I just try to expand this for another time. So obviously this is on a 2 pounds coin, and it was made in year 2022. Yeah, looks great. So in terms of age, I know you probably cannot see clearly from this direction. I can tell you guys, it's middle age. It's quite obvious if we take a closer look, like this, middle age. Okay, let's put it back. Now, it's story time, because I have another card to read. Maybe not to read, I need to show you, because remember I take it as in out from the box. This is another card like this, leaflets like this, 1926 to 2022. This is Queen, you know Queen obviously. This is when Queen was young and she was in her coronation. Pretty sure it will happen soon to King Charles the Third, very soon. In my memory, so it'll be next month, right? In April this year. Okay, so it's just talk about what she said on that day, lifelong promise. And this is her funeral. It looks like 70 years reign. This one, devoted duty. When we say devoted to duty, she obviously the last day, on the day she passed away, she was still the queen. So she just served the British people and Commonwealth people until the last day of her life. So we really respect her. Again, mention her 70 years reign. Okay, that one I think I briefly mentioned previously about the coin, her portrait designs. As you can see, there's 5 designs. The first one right here by Gillick portrait, and second one is a machine portrait, and third one is a Makloff, and this one rank broadly portrait, and the 5th one is a Clark portrait. These are the 5 portraits of queens in United Kingdom. So before we continue to talk about king's portrait, I want to show you the other 2 coins so you can have a better idea about how they look like the previous version. Okay, so this one, take this one for example, JC. If you see the JC, Jodie Clark, that's the 5th portrait of the queen on the other side of the coin. Okay, so one version prior to that, let me show you. I borrowed this from my Street Fighter collection. This one, as you can see, IRB. So IRB. This is rank broadly version. This is the fourth version of her portrait. So at least you have some idea about this. As I mentioned at the beginning of my video, I said there are actually totally three memorial design for Queen Elizabeth II. So obviously the first one, the one I purchased is only the first one. So I did some research and really want to show you the difference between those three different designs, which you can see on the screen in a minute. Okay, so as you can see on my screen, there are totally three collections. All of these three collections are released on last year similar time, around October. Three different versions. The first one called Ounce collection, second one is a Crown, and third one is 50p, and that means 50 pence. On the other side, as you can see, all these are showing King Charles III official effigy. It's quite the same, exactly the same design, as you can see, those three. And on the reverse side, on the reverse side, three designs. So obviously, the first one is the one I just show. I have physically on my hand. Second one looks like that. It was when left hand side. It was when Queen was still young, and the right hand side, and when Queen became old. And on the third design, it just shows all these design patterns relating to her coronation day, as you know. Okay, so in terms of purity, the one I have in my hand, which is that one is 999 purity, but for the other two is just 925 silver. Which means it's lower in its purity, but it's pretty much good enough. For the one I have, is the one on the top is just a £2 sterling, and there's also other denomination like £10 sterling, and also another one, but with a different size, 5 Aussie and then 10 Aussie version, and one is 500 pound sterling version, which is 1 kilo. In terms of like a limited edition, it's kind of like a mintage limit in Australia. So for this one I purchased, actually this is no limit. So this is obviously this is not a very good thing, because for coin to keep its value, or with the value being increased in the future, it should have a limited version. But the quantity itself is good. It's finished, it's a proof coin, so I'm still happy with that. And for the 5 Aussie version, there's a limit of 3,000, and then obviously, as you know, the larger the coin becomes, the less mintage it has. Like the next one is only 1,000, and the 1 kilo is only 500. So it's quite normal, easy to understand. For the design, the second design, third design, the second design, it has it is on the £5 sterling coin, and the two different version. One is the proof, another is proof Pierre fault. So for the proof Pierre fault, it's just a quite similar to proof version. The only difference is this one is thicker, so that's heavier. So normally twice of the thickness and weight of the one above. Okay, so and for the third version, it also has two different proof versions. And for the Crown and the 50p, there's no limited mintage, which is also a little bit unfortunate. Okay, since we talk about silver proof, why not explore the topic a little bit and continue to talk about gold proof. So for the gold proof, as you see, it also has in terms of purity, the best one on this first design version is 999. The other two gold is not that pure, but it's still quite pure. It's an 196 gold. All these are the proof one, and they have different denomination. Hence they have a different mintage, which is easy to understand. On this slide, again, it's about silver proof, but I really want to include the diameter and the price, so you can refer to it as a reference. So the whole purpose of it is it records the cost of a coin being listed on the Royal Mint. Although I know it's unavailable, none of these are available on Royal Mint, but you can refer to this price in the future. You can refer to this price as a guidance if you haven't purchased any of those memorial coins from Royal Mint website. Maybe they will appear to be available on other Mint websites, as long as they have distributed worldwide. And also, because if for some coins there's no limited mintage, you still have a chance to buy those. But if you do your own math, like this 199.5, this times 1.84, so will be reasonable price you can refer to. So, and in terms of Peleford price, as I mentioned, it's twice of thickness of the normal proof coin, so the price here totally makes sense. 180 versus 95, which is almost twice of the price. Similarly, for the 50p is also twice of the normal proof price. Okay, so let's take a quick look of the gold proof. For the gold proof, for gold proof, there's two coins available on Purse Mint. One is which one? The top one, the quarter Aussie one. On Royal Mint, it was 725. Times this 1.84, it's about 1,334 Australia dollars. But while you check Purse Mint website, at the moment it's 1,250. So in other words, it's 80 Australia dollars cheaper than Royal Mint in Australia, which is a good deal. Another one which is available in Australia, on Purse Mint, is the Crown £5 sterling coin, which on the UK Royal Mint, It's 2,975, which is about 5,474 Australia dollars, whereas on Purse Mint is 5,150. So it's actually $300 cheaper. So, which means if you haven't purchased the order in the last 3 months, last year from the Royal Mint, don't feel you missed a fortune, because you can still purchase from the Purse Mint, and now much cheaper price. It's all about buying coins and the lowest price, so you can have your maximum premium in the future, possibly. If at a starting point you pay more, and then definitely you will get less in the future, right? However, if you don't really care about price and you're just a big fan of coin collector who just want to get the coin as soon as it's available, it's just another story, right? But for me, I just want to save money. The cheaper I can purchase for a legitimate mint, it's better. It's my personal point of view. I think it's almost the end of my show, because I've been talking so much today. I really want to keep on talking. So the other thing, to be honest, the other thing I haven't mentioned is in this episode, is a coin made from platinum. Why? Because when we normally talk about precious metals, we normally refer to gold, silver. Although platinum is becoming popular these years, most of the time people still want to invest in gold and silver. Also, as a coin collector instead of an investor, I have no idea about the market for the platinum. The other one I haven't talked about today is uncirculated coins. For the memorial coins, they also have uncirculated coins version, which totally makes sense. However, for those uncirculated coins, they have relatively low value. So for me, I'm less interested in those, but they still worth collecting if you want to. The last one I haven't mentioned is sovereign memorial coins. Why not sovereign coin? Because sovereign coins means a British gold coin. But as I mentioned repeatedly, I will be more interested in silver coins. The reason why I mentioned the gold proof coins is because I think it would be more interesting to show everyone, because I'm pretty sure someone will be interested in the gold proof. But since for the sovereign memorial coins there's no silver version of it, I'm not going to cover it in my today's topic. Also, I've been talking for so long today, so I think I covered everything today. So please keep an eye on my video in the coming week. If you really like it, please subscribe it, or you can give a like, and also you can give me some comments. Thank you so much for spending time watching my video today. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.